Hey everyone, and welcome to Mayfield and Friends, episode 14. Today I am here with Malik, or also known in RuneScape as MLK. Why don't you go ahead and tell us who you are, Malik, and what kind of account you play?
Yo, my name's Malik, aka MLK in game. I play a level 3 skiller.
Perfect. And the first question I was like kind of start with is what what drove you to be a level 3? Because I know you're kind of an XP guy, EHP guy. What made you be level 3 and not want to do Mainscape?
That's a good question, man. Like honestly, the thing that made me want to be a level 3 was just when I was growing up, like I played RuneScape when I was younger, and I was always like into like one defense pures and like PKing. However, I was young back then. I didn't really know what I was doing, but the time I came into the old school, um I think honestly what's crazy is I hadn't played RuneScape in a long time, and then I saw a Skaggy video from like a long time ago, and I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna join Improvement, or I was like, oh, I saw him making a level 3, and then I think that I think that made me want to like get back into the game. I think I had made this account that I play on before, but like I think seeing like him make content and all that, and I think that's what kind of drove me to make a level 3. Plus, I just never really enjoyed questing and um, all that when I
That's
first started. Nowadays, I kind of do enjoy a little bit of other things, but yeah.
perfect. And you talked about how you played the game a little bit when you were younger. When did you like officially start playing RuneScape? Like, do you remember the year
Uh,
at all?
Man, I don't know, probably like '07, like '06 maybe. Like I was young. I just would I think the first time I ever played RuneScape was at my friend's Joey's house. I didn't have a PC in my crib, and well, actually the first time I played RuneScape was off Fun Orb. It was like mini clip or whatever, I think actually. And yeah, then I didn't really play, but I got addicted at school, like playing on the PC at school, and then I would go to my friend Joey's house after school, and I would just hop on his PC. Holy, his family, man, that was that man's house was disgusting, but like I literally just didn't care. I just wanted to play RuneScape. I was like, yeah, like it is what it is.
You're like walking through
I get
piles of trash to the PC. You're like, just don't mind me, guys.
yeah, man, like yeah, it was pretty insane that house. Like, man, yeah. Looking back at it, that was just like an actual CPS case, but whatever.
Well, you got the addiction started. So I mean, that's what at this point that's what matters, you know.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you didn't really play a whole lot, or you were kind of a noob back in the day, and then when '07 came out, you that kind of shifted. And so, like, when you played RS2 back in the day, did you ever get into RS3 as the game? I know for people who watch your stream, they'll know that you have a couple RS3 alts you play on the side. Um,
Yeah.
so did you play RS3 when it initially released, or was it kind of something you were like, oh, this is a decent money maker, so I'm gonna do this on the side because it's easier to do with some of the more intense skilling methods?
The last thing that I did in RS3, or honestly, like I think it was kind of around the evolution of combat era, was when I kind of stopped. I think like I wanted to do. I think I just got like 99 fire making on an account with bonfires. I remember just spending like a whole summer, that summer, just getting 99 fire making and then just quitting the game. Like, like I just remember like no lifing with my friend. I think he actually lured me. So yeah, he lured me for like Bando's boots or something, and I just quit.
I
Fuck that
think
guy.
I was I've never told this story before, but back in the day I used to go to my friend Zach's house all the time and play, and we would play in his like his grandma's house, and eat hot pockets and just degen for 12 hours straight on the weekends, sometimes like
Holy
13.
the hot pockets. Oh my
Dude, I
god, don't get me started on that. The hot pockets on my mom's, like, just like, dude, like I did so many crazy things. Like my mom used to work for the government or whatever, and I would use her work computer to play RuneScape. Man, I think that I got hacked, like her computer. I ended up downloading something about RuneScape that was just a virus, and like I just remember like Well, that was like Degent. Like I just used to stay up till like 6 in the morning playing RuneScape and just like being low, like seriously low. Just like probably like I think I was just like walking from like Varrock East Mine all the way to Lumbridge and just smelting ore. Like just what was I doing? I don't know. But
You were
like I
enjoying the
would I
game.
would make accounts and I would be like, oh, I'm gonna bury every single bone. Like I'm not gonna. Oh, that's just weird. But uh, the hot pocket thing, it was like we used to like have hot pockets a lot in our house and the lean pockets. Man,
Yes.
I just remember just like sneaking lean pockets and hot pockets up into my room and just having like a pile of those like little pockets that they would come in like under my bed. I
I
was so nasty.
I used to do the same exact thing. My mom used to work for a company. They did like food brokering, so she got free candy all the time. And to this day, as a 25-year-old, I cannot eat candy anymore because I used to. You ever when you go to a store and you have like those big Mentos packs like that have all of them in them, and you can buy one at a time.
Yeah.
I used to sneak an entire box of those and just munch Mentos. And I remember, and like other candy in general, but like Mentos is the one I remember the most because I almost throw up every time I see him in the store. I just can't. It's just far too much now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, so my friend Zach and I, we would play his grandma's house, hot pocket shit, and he gave me his password to like do something once. And I
Oh,
remember I was like, I was like, oh, he was so much richer than I was. So,
yeah.
so what I would do is I would log in and I would take like 100K at a time, so he wouldn't know, so he wouldn't notice. And I think I got like 1.5 mil off before he ended up changing his password.
I got something similar. So like back in the day, I lived in Las Vegas with my brother. My mother, she went to like where she goes? She went somewhere, but I ended up staying at my great grandmother's house in Las Vegas with my older brother. And he was working at the time. He was an adult, and I remember they used to send me to the summer camp at this school or whatever. Like it was a summer, but like they would send me to the summer camp, and I
Mm-hmm.
met this guy named Rudy. Man, I remember, man, like I finessed his RuneScape account. Well, first of all, he gave me his password. I remember the username to this account, but I mean, it was like Stinky62698. I remember the username. That's how insane it is. He gave me the username and password because I couldn't because like no one's gonna buy me membership. Like you said, like the kid was like rich as heck, and his family just like like his dad was like in a band or something. I didn't care. Like I was just like whatever. So I just remember just being so addicted, man. And he was such a noob, man. He had like nothing, man. And I remember like one day I begged my brother and I was like, please, can we get mixed mystics on this account? And this was like this was like a long time ago, man. Like I remember, bro. What I did was before I did what I was gonna do, I told Rudy, I was like, hey, tell your mom to check her email. I think I was like, tell your mom to check her email because yeah, like check the email and tell her to type this in. And I made his mom typed in the new password for him. And I took his account. Like
Oh my god.
like it was insane, bro. And then when I took his account, I told my older brother, I was like, because he had a credit card, I was like, okay, I was like, I just remember being on the phone with like some Chinese man or something. This is like so long, bro. I had to be like 12, man, or like some mess. And I just remember just being like, allegedly in another world, this is off the record. No, I'm playing. Like,
Hold on,
I
stop
just
it. Stop
remember,
recording.
I remember, no. I remember buying like a dragon dagger, bro, like off the internet. Like, that's so insane. Like what the hell? Like, just like buying mystics. And I just remember sitting in Varrock with it and just like not knowing what the hell I was doing. And I was just like, damn. And then and then Rudy ended up telling the camp counselor on me. Yeah, that was crazy.
He was like, "Hey,
Those are good days.
counselor, Malik took my dragon dagger."
Yeah, and then he obviously got his account back, but he ended up letting me back on the account, and that was funny. It's weird because I hadn't talked to him in so long because like that was just like one summer, and then I remember randomly I was on Facebook and he like I was checking my DMs because I never go on Facebook, and he was like, "Yo, is this Malik from this time?" I was like, "Dang," and like yeah, he just doesn't play RuneScape obviously, but yeah.
It's so funny, like the different paths people go, because like I feel like there's a people who played back then who just like played for like a year or two, never played again, and then people like us who are just like, oh, this is like my lifetime commitment at this point until I finish everything I want to finish.
Yeah.
Did you ever like that reminds me of did you ever see that like news thing about the kid who got his like Bando scammed and like he real world traded to buy it and it was like this whole thing on like it was like on like the net like not national news but it was like circulating Facebook or whatever for a while.
Yeah. Nah, but I do remember seeing like I remember back in the day seeing what's that dude's name? Uh seeing CLS product. He's an old like content creator way back in the he used to lure people. I remember him like luring a kid and the kid had his webcam on and he cried for like a party hat or something.
Oh my god. So, we've talked a little bit about your history, who you are, all that kind of stuff. What in game are you kind of most known for and what are you working on?
I think in game I'm just known for like skilling. I mean, I just skill I'm just a goofy guy who likes to skill. I create a little bit of content. I stream and right now like I have three 200 mils. And I have like over 6,000 EHP, which is efficient hours played, and I have like over 1 bill XP. And I'm in Omnia Clan,
Mhm.
which is one of the 3 high level community skilling clans. But right now, I'm currently working on 200 mil mining.
And where are you at on that for mining?
I am at right now. I'm doing granite as we speak, and I am at 43.9 mil.
So you're cooking. Are you expecting to finish 200 mil this year, or are you expecting to get
For
like
sure, for
okay?
sure, for sure. Yeah, I have I like to plan around with things, so I have a pacer that kind of paces me like in an Excel sheet. Um, when I first started the goal, I just set my goal to do like 485K a day in
Mhm.
mining. However, I only needed 477 to finish by the end of the year. I did 485 because I felt like it was a nice round number, and you know that difference between 485 and 477K kind of adds up. So you have the fact that like over days that will add up and it'll give me cushion if I ever like just burn out a little bit or whatever. But even then, I'm pacing 590K right now, so I'm pretty ahead of pace. But my ETA is October 26th, according to my sheet right now.
Damn. Is there any days that you end up playing a lot more, or do you
Yeah,
pretty consistently throughout the week?
yeah. Like yesterday, for instance, I think I did like 700K, and but I was just very like I was just at home and I didn't do much, so it was pretty chill day for me.
Just reclined granite.
Yeah, but like for instance, today I was at work and at the hospital I work at, I can use my laptop, but it's a very slow laptop, and I obviously can't use like the work computer just be on RuneScape. But it's a very chill job. Um, I just work and like just like input data in reference to like COVID tests, like that type of stuff, and check people in. You know, nothing crazy, but I'll AFK MLM, which, for instance, I think I got like 200K today just AFKing MLM. I think it was like 200. It was like 240K, 230K. I forget, but I would have to
Hmm.
look at the XP drop. But yeah, I mean, like days like this, that's when I'm kind of more motivated to come home and like just finish it off because it's the weekend, and I already anticipated because I know I work every weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So I anticipate to do MLM, which will be a little bit less XP for the day.
Hmm.
And yeah, like whenever I get home, I'll just be like, it'll be like I'll probably like just do like either the amount or if I come home and stream, like I was gonna stream tonight, but if I come home and stream, like I'm like if I stream, I'm more like motivated to play a little bit more efficiently. So like, and I also don't want to stream for like a short amount of time, so I'll end up going over my day. But for the most part, like if I'm home, man, and it's like nothing going on, like at all, like I might just go on a walk in the morning, do a jog, or etc. I'll come home if I don't have school, and I'll just like I'll in the morning I'll AFK at MLM for a little bit. I'll watch some of the people that regularly stream that I enjoy, and then in the night I'll like kind of just do granite or sometimes I'll just do granite. It doesn't matter. I just know that like I had that goal of 485, and I know that I usually do hit it. There's been like one day so far where I didn't hit that goal.
But you're making up for it by having days like today and other days, so You know,
Yeah.
if you get like 300K one day, it's not the end of the world. Obviously, it's not where you want to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's exactly what it is.
so you talked about school a little bit. So do you want to talk about like kind of what you're doing for school, or you just want to? How do you like
Oh,
balance that
yeah.
school, work, personal life, and then like your goal every day?
So yeah, I go to school Monday through Friday in person. I'm a biology major, and I do graduate in May, so I'll have my bachelor's. And yeah, that's basically in terms of like some days I don't have to go to class because I mean outside of like inclement weather or things like that are kind of like runoff circumstances. Some days I don't have to go to class because like if some days I only have like one class scheduled and it's like I'm not gonna sit there and just go to like travel 30 minutes just to go to my university
Hmm.
to go to the class for like 50 minutes when the class is like 3 days a week, and one of those 3 days I have like is breaks between like two other classes because in university the way your schedule works is like it'll like you really kind of want to make it to where like your classes are kind of like on top of each other so that you're not just traveling to school to go to one class. But I
Yes.
really wanted to graduate and they only offered this class this semester, so I was like whatever, I don't care.
Yeah. When I was in college myself, I screwed myself on every Thursday. I had one class that ran from I think it was like noon to 3, and then I
Yeah.
had like a 3 or 4 hour break, and then another
Yeah.
class ran for like another 2 hours after that. And I lived about an
Yeah.
hour away, so I was like, I just usually sat in like the dining hall or like a study room and just like watched streams or played RS for a bit.
Yeah, like my schedule for like for instance on Mondays, I know I have cell physiology and I have biology like of the state that I live in, which is Texas. I don't mind just saying that.
That's fine.
But and that's from like I have the first class from 10 to 10:50 and I have the second class from 1 p.m. to 2:20. So like it's not like like I may go to those classes. I may go, and the only reason I go to the second class is just because like it's a cool class and I like the professor. And then also like if I'm gonna I already think it's like if I'm gonna be up, I might as well go to the first class too.
Hmm.
And since I'm gonna go to the second class, I might as well go to the first class. But then on Tuesday, it's like I only have like brain and behavior, you know, like I'm not like in that class is from 12:30 to 1:30, so or 1:50. So it's like I don't really ever go to that class. Plus, it's one of the end elective class for my degree plan, so I don't bother like going to like that class like really ever. But I
They
mean,
never knock you for like attendance or anything like that. Or
no, they don't knock. Nah, they don't knock for attendance. Like I don't necessarily have to go to any of these classes. They don't care about attendance. This is a big university. They don't care about attendance, and they just don't take attendance. It's like I mean,
if you're there, you're
I
there.
do like I do pretty fine in terms of I do pretty fine just like reading off of like lecture slides and reviewing throughout the week.
Hmm. I only asked because I went to a pretty small college when I was in, and I was in a music program, and there was like 20 of us in the whole program. So if you weren't
Yeah.
there, they glaringly knew you were not there. You had to like email the professor if you weren't going to be in class that day.
Yeah, the only time I would ever have to email is like if it's like a testing day, but I know I have an exam on Monday, so like I'm for sure gonna go to that class, and I know that like tomorrow, for instance, I wouldn't stream, and I'm not going to like I'm not gonna like I'm just gonna MLM, and I'm just going to no life all night and study for sure for
Hmm.
my physiology exam. But like for instance, the cell physiology class, like I said, it's only a 50-minute class. So like on Friday, think about it. This is Friday. I have that class is 3 days a week. Like I don't need to go to that class 3 days a week for 50 minutes to be able to do the class. Like I'd never go on Friday ever.
Hmm.
The only way that they could get me to go on Friday is if there was an exam, and I'm just not gonna go on Friday because it's just one class. It's 50 minutes, and yeah, like I mean, yeah. But honestly, I actually don't know how I'm gonna fare with the way I'm doing. But I did pretty well last semester. I mean, that's why I'm graduating. But like I haven't had my first exams yet for this semester. So like, I mean, come like maybe like 2 weeks from now, I would have taken all my first exam. So I'll probably have like an idea of like what I need to fix, etc.
Hmm. So does when it comes to like your goal, when it comes to your 485K a day, you talked a little bit about, granted MLM. Is there any other time in the day? I know you said you drive. Obviously, most people I do not condone escaping and driving, but
Hmm.
you can't stop people from doing that. Um, do you ever like sneak a little bit in class, or you kind of try and focus while you're there, and then just while you're studying, do the AFK stuff?
To be honest, I never really play when I'm outside of my room. I have done that before. Like I think a little bit pre-COVID and like during COVID I did that. However, um like I would go to the gym and I would like cut redwoods between sets and I would do redwoods during like what's the word? I would do redwoods
Like,
during work because I used to
okay,
work at like a plant nursery. So like I could just sneak into the back and just, like click the red tree or whatever. And but honestly, no, I don't do that anymore. I don't know. Like for me personally, like I think that I can it's easily manageable to like just enjoy my time because I like to enjoy like my time outside and outside my room. And I know like when I'm gaming, but like,
hmm
it's just not my type of play style as of right now. It could change, but also I think that MLM isn't nearly as AFK, and I don't really like I don't really like to train anything but mining nowadays because I don't know, like I don't want to use up my redwoods because redwoods is a very very like kind of precious like AFK, and I don't want to do 3 to or 5 tick fly fishing because I just really what's the word? I don't want to do 5 tick fly fishing because drift net and how that ratio comes out to be, and I'm already capped out, so
hmm
I'll just do drift net instead. And like there's just no reason for me to be doing that. I think that I mean, it'd be different if like the board was really competitive for the level threes, but it's pretty like just is what it is.
So where do you sit on the board in regards to like
Like the level
level three
three, like
EHP? Yeah.
yeah, like the level three ladder in term like the level three HP ladder. Also, just even the combine, like in regards to like how I fare against the mains that are around my EHP and like I usually do like 30 to 40 hours a week of efficient gameplay. Um, and the people around me usually do that. And any more over that, like it's either like someone that's like, like just I know that like I can't compete with like everybody because not everybody has the same IRL situation as me.
hmm
And I know that like some people they don't have the same type of like they might not have to leave from their house to go to their job, or they might not have to go to school, or some people might work more or less than me. It just is what it is. So like I don't really like where I am right now. I'm pretty chill. Like I think that like just cruising and staying consistent is the main key for me.
Absolutely. And you talked about kind of like the different methods we've done. We talked about the different methods for mining. Do you want to talk a
Hmm.
little bit about like some level three methods that you're using for the other skills, whether you have Twitter mill or not? What you've been doing for them, or what you did to finish the skill at that time?
So my I guess I would say like my favorite method. Well, level threes really like in terms of like level threes. I mean, a lot of the methods that are different for mains and level threes, I don't even have 200 mil in, like fishing and hunter or even mining, because like we don't have the rock body. But I mean, like I have 200 mil agi, thieving, and smithing, and I mean I did a lot of my shit. Like, for instance, I did agi and thieving during COVID, so I was pretty like I had nothing to do during that time.
hmm
And for those skills, I just did like the regular level three, the regular level three methods, like Arty Knights, a lot of pyramid plunder, mostly pyramid plunder for thieving. Oh, I did also do agility tickets, Brimhaven agility tickets, which is really inefficient for level three, but that was just me having fun, honestly.
Yeah,
And I did RD laps, basically like 200,000 RD laps, well a lot more actually, because I ended up getting like rank 96, and around that time, I mean rank 96 and Agi around that time. Artie Labs, or around that time, Agi was it was like I don't even know. I don't even know what I was saying there, but I know that like I got the kill counter for agility wasn't a thing when I started doing Artie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So I've done more than 200,000 Artie laps, but yeah, what the number says is like literally just 200K even. And smithing, I AFK'd a lot of smithing actually, which is pretty chill. I did a lot of my smithing very AFK. I was working a lot during that time, so I actually just would come home and just do rune two-handers, and then I think I sent the rest of 200 mil smithing through blast furnace.
No, blast furnace is pretty like pretty fast. I know
Yeah,
that.
it's really fast. It's like it's such a chill like skill. I think a lot of level 3s could afford to do it, and I mean, yeah, it's cool to make like 700 mil. I guess with the outfit, it's fast. I guess it's probably faster than 215K doing rune two-handers, and a lot of level 3s enjoy the AFK, and I don't blame them. I think that it's kind of similar to me doing Granite and then also doing MLM, you know, doing Blast Furnace, but then also doing Root two-handers. I think that it's
Absolutely.
like, it's, I think honestly, those are around the same amount of AFK. But yeah, I would say that like, I think it's good to like leverage all the methods and try to like do all the methods, because I don't know, like it just helps you in the long term to be able to do other things in the game.
Kind of it like varies up what you're doing, so your mind isn't constantly doing the same thing for 1,000 hours and you're just done after that.
Yeah, because it's like, you know, if you like, I don't know, like if you only know how to do MLM or you only know how to do rune two-handers, you're gonna be, and you're wanting to go for 200 mils, etc. You're gonna be kind of stuck in a loophole there.
You're actually gonna like fall behind and not, and if you're shooting for a certain rank, it's
It might just take too long. Like it might just
exactly.
take too long for some people, and they might not see the progress that they like.
Yeah, absolutely. That's an absolutely great point too. I know that like when it comes to skilling, a lot of people kind of like they abhor to a lot of the methods. Like a lot of people don't want to
Hmm.
quote unquote break their wrists on 3-tick 4G or like do 2-tick methods, and I'm just like, when I hear that, I think that a lot of people haven't really given it a good enough try,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's,
that's how I was.
yeah, I was the exact same way as well. And now I'm not comfortable with granite yet, but I did a lot of sandstone because I've played a lot of different like
Yeah,
Ironman and shit. So I'm
yep.
pretty comfortable with the 3-ticking. And now, honestly, just AFK skilling almost feels too slow sometimes.
Hmm.
So one thing
What are
that,
you
sorry, go ahead.
What are you doing right now in game? Are you just like running arty laps?
Yep, I always run arty laps for the cast, just because like the joke I had with somebody was like, "Oh, only 3,000 podcasts till 200 mil agility."
Imagine.
Dude,
That'd be crazy.
I would run other people so quickly. But I think that like agility is a good one because like if somebody wants to like look and watch while we're talking, then it's not me sitting at like amethyst or redwoods. It's not like super boring. At least they
Yeah,
can like watch me run in a circle, and it's at least
yeah, man.
like mild EHP, so I'm not like wasting too much time.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, I know some people, but maybe not everybody knows that you don't just have MLK as level 3. You also have baggyfaggy, another level 3 UIM. I know you haven't played it in a while, but did you want to talk about that out a little bit?
Yeah, so that was a series that I made actually. It was a level 3 UIM series, and honestly, I think that that is one of the more harder builds in the game, like that I've played, and that was just me getting 99s. And it may have been the fact that like the further I got onto my main level 3 MLK, I
Mm-hmm.
just did not want to spend time on the Baggy Faggy account. I did actually name change it to Krabby Baggy, I think, because I was just like, I thought about it and I was like, the name's kind of like, it could be a little bit insensitive. So I was like, yeah, I'll probably just change the name.
Absolutely.
But
No, I'm sure a lot of people, like anybody listening, is like, oh, that's cool. That was like a thoughtful gesture, if you
and I
will.
did that like before, like I just did that. Like I was just like, I thought about it and I was just like, whatever. But I think that account, man, like I know like the first thing I did when I hopped on that account was get 99 agi. Like I didn't like adhere to like the guide, but I did actually talk to you about it because I know that you made a level 3 UIM guide, and I did look at it. I know that like a few other people have also chimed in and like they put like input on what I should do, etc. But honestly, like I was still playing my main level 3. I
Mm-hmm.
just did Artie Laps, and Artie Laps was pretty easy. So I did like Artie Laps to 99, Agi. You know, I also did like a little bit of Agility Pyramid, etc. I got the Rogues outfit. The I ended up doing 99 thieving with Artie Knights on that account. I did 99 fishing. Well, I did 99 fishing. Also, obviously, I got the angler's outfit on it, and then I went and I did uh AFK barb fishing or AFK fly fishing, sorry. AFK
Mm-hmm.
fly fishing at the barbarian village, and I would cook on the fire there. So it was just like pure AFK, and I was just still gaming on my level 3. Uh and then I ended up getting to like whatever the level is for minnows, and once I got to minnows, I just stopped cooking, and then I just fished minnows, and I went to the Hosidius, and I just cooked them all there, all the sharks there. So that was how I got 99 cooking and 99 fishing on that account. And then the little bit of agi, or not bad, a little bit of construction I did. I just did like the really AFK method of like I would pick up the planks at a fishing trawler, and then I would just run to whatever the spot is. I would run through Artie I had the Artie cloak, and I would take the boat to what
Brimhaven.
is it? Brimhaven. Yeah. And then I would just do the house stuff there and then just tele back, etc. And I ended up actually doing 99 fire making too on that account. I just never uploaded it yet, but I do have a lot of clips, and it's pretty funny because like I'll just pop up with a random video on that account whenever I'm inspired to play it, but I've been really focused down on my main and just skilling and on one account and focusing, and like all the alting I do is just basically for money nowadays.
Did you
But
want to
yeah,
talk a little bit about?
I liked the UIM gameplay. Like, you know, it was fun. Like, you know, because I would never would have done LMS. I never would have done like I never would have done LMS. I never would have
Yeah,
knew about like I've never even trained construction on my own level 3. So like, you know, like just different, just exposed me to like different gameplay. And I also know that like off of that, like UIM is for sure the hardest game mode because I've played I played a little bit of a hardcore. Like just not having a bank is just insane. Like UIM is the hardest game mode in the game. Like hands down.
I think it's one of those challenges. It's like people. I think people. It's very daunting until you like try it, and then it's like you kind of understand the small things, but until you put like a lot of time into it and really understand like kind of the sacrifices you may have to make, and some people aren't okay with that, and that's fine. You know, some people don't want to drop like I don't know early game. They don't want to drop the Ranar seed they got. They want to put in the bank. So they can put.
Yeah.
It's like this.
Yeah.
It's just small things like that because you're like, oh, that Ranar seed is gonna be nice and useful later, but I can't keep it
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, it's like on the hard because I made a hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
It's a main on the hard. Like for instance, on the level 3 UIM, it's like oh every few games I had to go in suicide to keep my seeds. I didn't get the seed box because you know I just didn't care to like read like and be efficient in it. Uh, but like it's like dude, that was a long grind to get 99 fire making and just like having to suicide and put the stuff in my looting bag and all that extra stuff. It was just extra like just so
Yes,
much.
it is like
And but then like on my regular hardcore, it's just like I just walk outside to the bank. It just doesn't matter.
exactly. It's a very different way of like thinking and approaching some stuff. Like you know, a lot of the UI methods are like almost identical to other stuff, but it's like
Yeah.
varied in like a 45-degree angle. Like with mahogany homes, like
Yeah, I
I
didn't even know about that back then. Like I haven't even like experimented with that. I saw Rez doing that method earlier this morning and
yeah, it's
yeah.
I think he does the 1.5 techniques with it. I know most people just do
Yeah.
oaks though, but with the ring of
Yeah.
the elements, it completely changed how we did it.
Yeah.
So It's weird like how some small things will add a bunch of content to the game for like that
Yeah.
really niche account build.
Yeah, and it's even more interesting because like as time goes on, I've just seen like certain updates just appear that affect that game mode and just that account itself, and it just makes the game mode like even more like brainless for me. Like it's like, oh, I was thinking to myself, I was like, I want to get 77 rune crafting so that I can just AFK another 99.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, I have to do Arceus library and etc. But now it's just like, oh, Guardians of the Rift is just a thing.
Yeah, and
So
I was
insane.
thinking, yeah, it's because I did it back when I had to go
Yeah,
to
like
library.
also mahogany homes is just a thing now. It's just like what? It's like crazy stuff. Like just stuff like that is pretty big. And then being able to catch the magpies, etc. Like getting recoil, like just a lot of things have just like changed for level 3 UIMs specifically. I can't speak on all the UIMs, but for sure level 3 UIM. So
I'm
if
very
I ever wanted to go
excited.
back to that game mode, I'd be pretty sad. Like I could probably do the account like really inefficiently and just AFK it and probably
Mhm.
max it over a couple years.
And that's like I'm very excited for the magpie thing. I know there was some talk in the level 3 OM Discord about how people were against it and all this stuff, and I'm like, I, at the end of the day, they're gonna change things. People are gonna ask for things. The game is going to change. That's just
Yeah,
a matter of fact. And I
yeah.
actually the first two people who I had on the cast, which was Our and Sam Hyde, are both do not play anymore because of some of these updates. Our like maxed his account and then he was like, I'm done. And then Sam
Mm,
just quit after he was working on agility. It's I don't know.
that's interesting.
It's
Because
very
I know that R is I'm pretty sure he's a moderator in District 3 or something. I'm not quite sure.
I think he was the owner
Maybe he
of
stepped down.
the OSAT clan.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know. Honestly, I was gonna say it's like, dang, I don't know. That can be demotivating for a clan if your leaders are inactive or just aren't motivated to play.
Absolutely. And the funny part is like they'll still talk here and there in the UI and level 3 Discord and it's um
Yeah.
there's always a chance that they don't like fully quit. Cause I think one of them said that like the way the game's heading. The other one said that the new skill is they're kind of like not stoked for it, and I don't know. How do you feel about the new skill? What are your thoughts?
Um, I voted no just because I personally just don't want to spend more time on the game like that. And when I set out for doing Jamal, I kind of just thought about it in regards to myself and
Hmm.
how long I would like to play the game. And I get like a lot of people may want the skill. I mean, there's people who are way ahead of me and like who have 200 Jamal who would want the skill because it gives them a chance to get a higher rank in the game overall. However, I'm kind of like with the new skill, it's like um if it's gonna be like a viable, I'm not into that personally. I just think that it'd be cool if it's like a nice gatherer, but
Yeah,
or productivity skill.
I know production was the method that like got the most votes, or was it utility? I don't. Now I'm second guessing myself. I think it was utility actually.
Yeah,
So like a thieving, agility, construction, stuff like that.
yeah. I mean, like I think it's cool. It's just I also just think I remember seeing like how it was like voted on in terms of like people's total levels and etc. I obviously think that there's a problem with how they took that pie graph and just showed the percentages like, oh, these people with this total level are voted for this, and I'm just sitting here with like 1400 total, like okay, with like a billion XP, just like okay, whatever. But like I don't
Yes.
know, it's like these people are gonna be they're talking about they want a new skill, but it's like I don't know, can you get the 99? Like, do you really want the new skill or like maybe they just want something else? I mean, I know the game isn't all about 99s. That's and it isn't all about skilling, and the skill is obviously gonna impact PVM, and it's gonna impact maybe even PvP and all types of things that like adding a new skill just like affects the whole RS economy. Like adding a new skill to old school will affect the RS3 economy because of swapping. So like it's just like I don't know, like it could make the game better. It can make the game worse. It just depends on like what your preference of gameplay is. I just know that I voted no because I just personally just don't want to like another skill. I like the game how it is, to be honest.
Mhm.
In terms of like the amount of skills, like I mean, I don't mind updates to the game and quality of life updates. Those are cool.
But you think the skills are pretty fair how they are. There's no that was the big thing with me when I was voting on it. It was like I can't think of a skill. The only one that I ever thought would be even mildly good for the game would be invention, and that just doesn't feel like an old school skill.
Yeah.
Just because of like the way invention works in RS3 and how it could really help the economy when it comes to like some of those lower value items.
You
Really
could just get rid of a lot of items, honestly, and it could be like it's literally just a money sink.
exactly, and that I think like with how how heavily botted our game is and the gold farmers and all that stuff, like there's got to be some kind of retribution to help fix the main game economy. Because even though I play exclusively Iron Man,
Uh,
I always look forward towards the main game because that's like the majority of the game is the main game, and that is like
yeah,
who keeps the game alive basically.
yeah. And on that, I was like, I also can just say that like I'm fine with whatever the community decides. Like I'll adapt. Like I'm not like people who be like, oh, I don't like it here, I'm leaving.
Mhm.
Like no, like I'm not gonna sit here and say that. But if it would have to be something personal on my own opinion for me to just be like, oh, I don't want to play the game anymore. But it's gonna be it would have to be a really bad update or something that just destroys my account. And then on that note, didn't they pull a like the new skill a while ago?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
poll they pulled
and
the
it
new
was 70% or was it 80%, and then they lowered it to 70%, right? And then they
I
repulled it, right?
so they pulled like warding and then something else, and those didn't pass, and then they just pulled a generic new skill, quote unquote.
And
And
they didn't say what it was. Yeah.
they haven't like announced anything about it, and they're like they want community feedback, and even in like the dev blog when they talked about what they want to do for the new skill, they actually gave seven things that people have brought up from the community. Like, do you know who Caveman Only is?
Um, Yeah, that's the guy. He used to stream a long time ago. I don't know if he still streams. I remember seeing him though. Yeah.
He
I know of the guy. I'm not really like familiar, but I think I've seen his face before. Like
Yeah.
I've
So
seen his face.
him and like a couple other guys worked on a skill called barding, and then there's a guy who worked on like an engineering skill, and there's like so many different ideas that people have had, and like pretty much everything has not felt like it's going to fit correctly. And I think like the thing people like fail to realize with the new skill is nothing's coming to the game until people decide what they want. And that could be 2027 for all we know. We may not get this new
That's
skill.
interesting.
So it's like, unless at one point they're like, "Hey, we're tired of the community like downvoting everything. We're just gonna do this thing."
That's why I think I don't know if you're saying that like uh something won't come into the game if the community doesn't like it. I think that might be a little false, just off of like what I've been seeing recently with how they've done the repolling of restricted account builds and things of that nature. I'm pretty sure you're probably going to talk about that, but
I said no,
yeah, I mean,
absolutely, like because like I completely know that I'm wrong in saying that because like doesn't matter if people don't like it. The people who don't like it are usually not the majority.
yeah,
So it like all it needs is 70% at this point, and that's and
that's hilarious. It's like,
how much of the player base is like what percent of the player base do you think is not like focused on the health of the game, the longevity, like the bossing, the EHP? How many people are truly just like, I just
I
want
mean,
something new?
I'm sitting here at Sandstone, and the guy, the Iron Man that's here. I mean, I'm sitting here at Granite, and the Iron Man that's here is like, he asked me a question about my account. I responded it, and he said, "Sorry for late response. I'm on mobile." Like, I just never play on mobile. Like,
I
he
hate
probably just
mobile.
plays on mobile. He probably just like he's mining Sandstone. He's probably just playing on mobile like his whole life. Like, he's just like a gim, like a green helmet. Like, like I don't know. Like, my point was, it's like this. They pulled it. They pulled the restricted account builds. It failed the poll. It failed. Leave it at that, right?
Exactly.
It failed. They said, "Oh, we're gonna revisit it," right? They said they're gonna revisit it. Keep in mind, the level three the level three and the one defense high scores was also in that initial poll, and it
Mm-hmm.
failed. They said that they're going to release the level 3 and 10 HP high scores on the 15th. That's
And
interesting.
it blows
And
me away.
yeah, and then that goes on to saying that they're talking about, oh, they wanted to revisit it, and then they're putting in content that was obviously like downvoted. And my main thing is, if they start doing that, then it's like, like, then what's the point of voting if you're just not going to listen to the community? I don't agree with that. I see a problem with that. And also just the majority of level 3, like the majority of the level 3 community who have been playing for a while and like have put a lot of their money in terms of like time spent in this game and like, years of membership, like literally just, you know, membership, and have actually supported this company for a long time. I think that like sticking by your word as a company is like something you should do, especially if you're going to be talking about like high scores and all that stuff. I don't even really think that level 3s and 10 HP need a high scores. I'm not against it. I'm not against it. But like, and I would have voted yes for it for the high scores. That'd be cool. But the majority said no. And if we go off of just like, oh well, Malik said we want the level 3 high scores, it's cool. He doesn't really care. Then it's more about like, it's like the community said no and they don't want this update. You have to listen to the community, because if they don't listen to the community, there's no point in like the polls. Like, just don't poll it if you're just gonna double back and be like, oh, here's what we went wrong and explain this. Well, then put more time into your initial announcement. You can't do that. Like, it's just
Absolutely.
sideways.
No, absolutely. I absolutely agree. And I think the funny part is like people have, been talking about on Twitter and like Reddit for how many years that like Jagex just does this. They'll revisit things that failed and they're like, "Oh, we if you want to push in the game so much, why do we have the polling system anymore? Why like what does the polling system really do at this
Yeah.
point if everything is passing and if it hasn't passed, it just gets revisited and then passes a second or third time."
Yeah, it's like if they if they start doing that type of thing, they're just gonna keep repolling it. And if people like the community doesn't speak out about it, they're just gonna keep doing it. Just because it doesn't affect you doesn't mean that you shouldn't speak out about it. I mean, and that's just for anything in life.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know there's a quote by Elie Wiesel, who's a Holocaust survivor, and he said, like, he was like, first they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I'm not a communist. Then they came for the socialists, I did not speak out because I'm not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, I did not speak out because I'm not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I'm not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. So it's like, like you have to stick with the program. Like, we all play this game knowing that there's a poll. We all are on the same page on that regard. I know that, like, yeah, like, I feel that like what they're doing, like when they said that they're gonna revisit that, it was like a slap in the face. It's like, dude, you already just said like it failed. You already lowered the initial like amount, the initial percentage of votes yes needed to make things pass. You already lowered it to 70. Like, it failed. Like, let it go. But it's like they're like, oh, now we're gonna put this piece in. And honestly, them doing that is just setting themselves up so that whenever they revisit the poll, um, like they say they're gonna do, keep in mind when they revisit the poll, the the high scores will already be live for the level 3s, 10 HP. I mean, the level 3s and one defense periods, etc.
Hmm.
When they revisit the poll and then they pull the restricted account builds again, people are gonna be like, oh, there's like a high scores now. There's gonna be like, it's like, dude, you polled it initially, you put something in that was in that poll without the community regard, and like, no, it's like they just gonna break the game build. And then things like this, like where they do things like that, it can affect not just level 3s in the future. I mean, if they do that to everybody else, I mean, if they do that to us, what's gonna stop them from doing it to like the main game and other account builds?
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people I think sit as well with we kind of go back to when they initially released Iron Man, and they said Iron Man will not affect the main game, and we look at how many things come out catered basically just Iron Man. And I say that being an Iron myself, like that was never the intention of the game mode. I think it was self restriction is not about being catered to. It's about having your own challenge in a game not meant for you, but what can I get done in this with this limited build I have.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to it, like, do you think that the game is being catered more towards irons and like the niche YouTube content creators and all that kind of stuff these days than it is towards like the health and livelihood of the main game?
Hmm. I mean, I know I was made aware like that even Kim Q kind of spoke out about like how what they're doing with the restricted account builds on Twitter. I saw that tweet. I forget what he said exactly, but it was just basically kind of around the same thing I said. And I think that they just like maybe they're just trying to put more game modes in. I don't know, but they just seem to be, I wouldn't even say like they're going for like just getting a bunch of like low quality player base. I would say that they're more just disrespecting their current player base. But I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like there's so many things that like are in the game already that can be fixed in regards to the game, but they decide to go through with adding like something like humongous content, like restricted account builds. Like who just knows what they're gonna end up breaking with that? But
No
I
doubt, no
mean,
doubt.
they're pulling restricted account builds, a new skill, yet the current skills still have bugs in them that just go under the radar. Like at DriftNet, like it's bugged. Like a lot of it is bugged. If you at DriftNet, if you unequipped your trident, you just stop swimming, but like you have your flippers on, like, and you just start walking no matter what. Like you have to log out and you have to leave the cavern. It's just stupid stuff. Like they have so many things that they can fix, but they're just gonna add more things that are just gonna cause more problems. And then the main reason I say that is just because like the things that they're adding, people have already said no to. It's like, what are you getting on about?
Where's the line?
So I don't really know who they're catering to. It's kind of like, you know, I don't know.
All right. Well, we've kind of bashed and complimented and done a very few very surmountable things to the old Jagex. So let's get back to Malik.
Yeah.
What is your future RuneScape looking like? Are you planning to stick it out through tournament all? Do you kind of have a point in your life you want to reach before you stop playing the game? What is the plan?
Yeah. I mean, I want to go for 200 mil all. I mean, I'm already halfway done with the game, so I don't really mind going for two. Well, I don't know how much I'm actually done with the game, considering there's a new skill going to be coming in. But yeah, I mean, I at this point, I'm going. I'm doing granite to 200 mil mining, and I've done already like I've just spent a considerable amount of my time in this, and I just want to stick it out and get 200 mil all. It'd be really nice, but I mean, plans can change if it becomes a point where it just seems like uh I'm I'm not making any progress or I'm not interested in the game, then yeah, I'll quit. But I personally just I really enjoy my friends. Um I enjoy my friends, I enjoy the game. And I mean, like the only reason I kind of like went at Jag is because like I don't like when people like go back on their word. I don't like that, especially like when I'm paying for the content. But and
Absolutely.
then but I love this game. This game's been with me since it's made all those memories that we spoke about in the past, and it's gonna make future memories for me. So I mean, I really enjoy it. I could see myself playing until I'm till I'm like 30, man. Just like coming home from, just coming home from work like I already kind of do and just play. Like I love the game. So yeah, 200 mil all would be great. Those are my goals for that. And then maybe I'll get 200 mil all on RS3 and then probably play my hardcore,
Awesome. So
die
we
on that 400 times and cry.
make 400 rebuilds.
Yeah, like literally. Yeah.
So we've talked a little bit about RS3 and the alts. So do you want to talk a little bit about what the alts do and why they are good for like AFKing while you're doing granite and the such?
So I'll backtrack and I'll say that alting for me, I think my first alt was a Rune Dragon alt, like just playing like Rune Dragons and AFKing on old school. And yeah, they're really good money. Like each Rune Dragon is like 1.2 to like 1.3 mil an hour, depending on how you do it. So like I still like the conventional ways of alting, I would say. I just don't play those alts because they're kind of click intensive in the type of game, the type of content that I'm currently doing in the game. It's just not conducive to like efficiency for me to be playing like a Rune Dragon. And then you have Vyres, which you Temple, which is a EHP tracking website, they have a skill cost calculator. Their skill cost calculator only calculates if you're picking up the shards only. And if I'm doing granite, I'm only picking up the shards. And I did the math and I would have to like like just running like 2 Vyres is just not gonna cut it. They're so inconsistent in terms of the drop.
Mm-hmm.
It's not consistent money. It's all about RNG and how lucky you get on shards. There would be times, and also it just depends on like the amount of time you play. Like if you play like a certain amount of time per week, yeah, that's how that is. But if you use a bond, that 14 days is 14 days. It's not. It's like, but if you're only playing like 30 hours a week, you might not make enough money to like pay that bond back. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like and if you do make enough money to pay that bond back, it's like you might get 2 shards. Like that's the bond. Like shards are like 6 mil right now. Like so I was like, I had done that. I did a little bit of granite with those, but then I ended up making this. Actually, I already had 2 spiritual warriors before I started doing granite. I made those, but like right now I'm making 2 more. And the reason I make spiritual warriors and I like the RS3 alting is because it's just really it's more AFK. I like playing like the RS3 isn't as bad as people would say. I mean, people say it's like WoW, but honestly, if it was like WoW, like I don't know, like I've tried to play WoW recently and I just wasn't able to play it. But I mean, maybe I'm just a fast learner, but I don't know. Like I enjoy RS3 alting because like it's AFK. I could run like literally like 13 of these accounts and I only have to click on them every 5 minutes. So, like I just cycle through and I just click the windows and I just don't log out and my pet picks up a lot of the coins and scavenges items for me and I just get coins and I'm just looking at like a 1 billion cash, a 1 billion coin pouch on one of my alts, and it's just like, yeah. The only negative is the fact that you have to swap, and right now swap rates are pretty bad because of a recent dupe that happened on RS3 with Scrimshaws.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean they're just really chill alts, and the only big things you have to do is 99 Slayer, 80 Divination, 80 Crafting, and and you end up getting 100 level 120 invention just through Slayer. But in the game, that game mode is just pretty chill. Like I'm literally AFKing, talking to you. I have 2 SWs going. I'm making 2 that are training at bandits right now, AFKing. I still click all those accounts every 5 minutes, and I'm doing granite.
Yeah, it's
So
very
like
yeah,
it's
that's very
very
impressive.
chill. If I was doing 1 RD in Granite, I'd have problems just personally. They make me these 4 accounts each make me around like 450K per hour. So like I'm looking like 1.8 mil per hour whenever I get done with this. And
That's not
shoot,
bad at
like
all.
It was pretty good because right now is a pretty good time to like for me to be mining, considering the volcanic mine update and the wardenness update. So like it just made the infernal picks or the dragon pickaxes go down because of the drop tables.
Yeah, I saw they like plummeted.
Yeah, yeah, they were like 7 mil, and now they're like 4 mil, and they're just trending downward. So it's pretty chill. But when I started, I was kind of like, dang man, let's 900 mil, and I already have 200 mil. I already have 200 mil mining. I just don't like to drop as much, so I like to use infernal picks. But when I was doing smithing, I just never thought in my mind that I'd be doing granite.
Hmm.
Pretty funny. I was talking to actually you probably know him, but I was talking to one of my friends. His name is Charmy. He's a UIM.
Yep,
He's
I know
in
Charmy.
the same clan as me, Omnia. And I was asking him, I was like, did you ever think like, because I've known him for years. I was like, did you ever think that I'd be doing like granny? He was just like, no. Like he was like, what did he say? He was like the word. He said something like with some Aussie accent, but yeah, it was just like basically a no with the Aussie accent attached. So it was like it was just funny. It's just like, but we've all came from like like the same like upbringing in terms of like skilling, and we've just like all taken different paths. But yeah, I'm just here now, and I'm just alting, and I enjoy it. It's fun making these alts too. Like it's fun. Like, and we have double XP coming up. They don't tell you when double XP is coming up, but something told me it had been around like a few months since the last double XP. I was like, let me start making these accounts, and by the time double XP comes, I'll just be able to send Slayer divination really fast. So like, I'll save money on making them. So yeah, like, why not?
Absolutely. And do you do like the D&Ds like the for divination and all that stuff to make it faster for yourself, or you just kind of trade them AFK?
Nah, I just do curse energies. I'm just gonna use curse energies to weave them, and I'll literally get 80 divination in like a few hours with
Hmm.
how RS3 works.
So I
Like
think you're
I'll get the double XP from the double XP event. I'll have bonus XP already put on my account from my daily treasure keys. Because you can stack like for instance, like I just follow an Excel sheet. Like it's just so easy to make these alts. I just follow in an Excel sheet. I buy the items with the money that I've already made on my other RS3 alts, so I don't even have to swap for them. So all that like swapping stuff doesn't matter to me right now. So the like because the amount of coin I'm gonna get on those accounts on those two SWs I already have is gonna remain the same regardless.
mhm.
The swap rates can change, but that's just because of like when you're swapping from RS3 to old school, and I'm not doing that right now. So like I'll just save a lot of money with the fact that like I'm gonna be at the GE, and whenever you're at the GE, there's a portable skilling world, and you just get like there's just people that just set off bonuses. You just get like a bunch of bonuses for like just for standing in the same area as the other players. So that'll just stack with the double XP. Whenever I'm just doing Slayer, I'll just like top frag. You know what I mean? Like I'll just like I'll just like smoke everything and just be fast.
That sounds pretty chill. Pretty like sounds like you kind of have it figured out in regards to like
And,
what you're.
with rune dragons and etc. Like you would want to get like 99 stats,
Yes.
or you would want to get like at least like 70 something prayer. At least be able to wear like what's this stuff? Justiciar armor. You would want to get all the way done with the quest lines. And that takes a lot. I feel like it takes a lot longer. Like you don't there's no double XP. Like and it's not nearly as AFK. Everything that I'm doing on this account so far has been pretty AFK. So I mean on these two accounts that I'm making right now has been pretty AFK.
Hmm. Which is like
But
probably nice
yeah.
for you because you're not because you're focusing very hard on granite most of the time. So it's like you don't really have
Yeah.
the
And
time to
even when I'm
do.
like eating, it's like even when I'm eating and I go to MLM or like etc., I can just literally just click the hotkey, and I just like will go through my clients, like it's just AFK money. It's just zero time actually.
Hmm.
And Vires, like I mean, I like Vires. They're really AFK. The requirements aren't that hard. However, it's just the fact that like they're inconsistent in terms of money. So I would probably say RDs. Actually, I would say Spiritual Warriors, RDs, and then Vires in terms of like consistency and just all the things that make up what a good alt would be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think I
But
got.
you're an Iron Man, so you don't even have to like all, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you could offer like a Bond or like maybe like Slayer, but you're like a level 3, so like you don't even need to do the Slayer stuff. So
True. Yeah, I don't. I alt on my hardcore. I just like play a hardcore on the side for fun.
yeah, that's pretty chill.
And I like. I don't. My main has money on it to do bonds if I really really wanted to. The one I like made back in like 2015.
Yeah.
But I just pay every year.
Yeah, the premiere. Yeah, that goes hard.
Yeah, and like my hardcore just right now it's at Bloods. Basically, I'm gonna spend the rest of the time I'm maxing Mayfield to set it up for. I'm just doing a bunch of AFK grinds, setting it up to have decent stats and everything I need to like get into PVM and start Slayer on the account and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So getting a good foundation on the account, and then I've also talked about maybe doing videos on it because it's a 42 defense hardcore, but I don't know.
Mm, dang. Yeah, that's gonna be insane because it's kind of like you just have more chance to die if you're actually like doing like Slayer, like conventional Slayer and things like that, just because the defense is lower.
Yeah, and then like other stuff, if I'm not doing like good prayer flicking or whatever it may be, it's easier to get hit and
Oh, you're gonna be
easier.
prey flicking. Oh, you're different, man. You're a gamer, huh?
I'm
You
good.
feel yourself like that? Nah,
I'm
not
I'm
me.
I'm learning. I'm gonna learn.
Yeah,
I learned one tick flicking. I don't like doing it though, so
yeah.
it's not
It's
not
not
fun.
AFK.
It is it's not AFK, not even a little bit.
Yeah. I wish I could play my UIM level 3. Like honestly, I wish I could. Like I just at this point like just my goals. I just have like goals and that is like so far back, but it's like I know that like I could do Guardians of the Rift on it and just set my main level 3 at Redwoods, but it's like I could just not do that and I could wait until I get to a point where I'm actually like AFKing and my plan is to AFK on my main level 3
Hmm.
or I find something that's like less click intensive, like maybe like after 200 mil uh mining, for instance. I know I wanted to do 200 mil cooking this year too, and I was just gonna AFK that and cool off, have a little cooldown in AFK anglers in the Rogue's Den.
Hmm.
So maybe I could play my UIM then, or I don't know how far I'll be on my hardcore, but for sure
Yeah,
I'm gonna AFK my hardcore at Winter Tot once I'm done making these two alts.
there you go. You ever worry about dying on the at the winter time on the hardcore? You're
Yeah, I'm worried about it because I've died on baggy, I've died on my main level 3, I've died on the main. Well, actually, I've never died on the main before, but yeah, like I mean, I'm worried about it, but I'll just pay a lot of attention to it and just play it really safe.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah,
So I know you're a little bit of an EHP gamer. I know you hit what rank 7 for a level 3s on Temple recently.
I'm ranked 10. I'm ranked 10
Oh,
level
ranked.
3.
Okay, was it rank 10? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
What keeps you like motivated for the EHP mindset and like consistent gaming, all that kind of stuff? Like, well, what in your besides like, I mean, I'm assuming it's partially the goal of 200 mil all, but like what are your factors that play into it?
I don't want to be a failure. No, I'm playing. I just really like, I don't know, like I have so many friends and like I have so many friends who support me and we support each other and like everyone, I just hang around like-minded people, you're the company you keep or whatever the saying is. So like, you hang around like players who want to be high level or who want to play efficiently and for long term and do methods that they enjoy and complete their goals and not just be a weakling out of it or just just fall to like their goals. People that are like consistently like consistent. Like I mean, people that I talk to normally are just like that. And I think that one thing that really helped me was whenever I ended up joining Omnia for sure. Just being in that type of environment. I just never like the only people that I don't know any people who are in like the conventional level 3 clans who run spiritual warriors right now, Like
Mm-hmm.
I just wouldn't that's just not a thing that like I've seen a lot of and I mean it'd be cool if like they did that and maybe some people do run them, but like, I just never met anyone who's just like in any of those clans who run spiritual warriors or who like I just have an Excel sheet, like I just stay like motivated just because one, I like the game. I'm happy enjoying it. I plan around it. I know how to play like a healthy amount. I don't overdo it. I have my time away from the game when I need my time away from the game.
Hmm.
I stay healthy and active. You know what I'm saying? Like I go to school, like, keep the mental sane. You don't want to go crazy and like just, over a video game, which as silly as it sounds, it can occur. Like, but I mean, when you play as much as I have,
No,
not play
absolutely,
certain things.
absolutely.
You kind of
I
just be
totally get it.
you just like you get to everyone has that point where they're like, damn, this is like a lot or something, and they just realize that they're playing an unhealthy amount. So you just have to like take a step and just make adjustments. But like for sure, just being around people who are also in high level community clans and like just striving for goals with them and my clan leaders, uh, like my clan leaders Esk, Horda, Pace, and you know, just keeping me motivated to play. It's just something that like it's just that competitive attitude. Oh, also Brundeen, he doesn't speak, he never really speaks, but yeah, for sure Hordaland, like he's close to me, and like I fuck with him and Esk for sure.
Hmm.
Like they're two like of the leaders of Omnia, and I think that like they motivate me. They're actually both doing mining right now, but they're at VM. They're at VM with their fake Jordans and their fake chains. I'm just doing granite.
Just fucking chilling.
Yeah, fake Jordans on and fake chains.
You got the real Supreme Off-White collab.
Like I just
Real
actually am
diamond.
smiling at my temple page with a gold grill on. I just don't get it. like I don't know. Like people just don't even know. Like I have to like have push to talk on. I'm doing this podcast because my chain just dangles over the mic.
You don't
Imagine.
want to bunch. You don't want to hit the mic too much.
Yeah, man. Like it just, yeah, but it's just like that competitive, like just being competitive. Like I like that game, and I think, yeah, for sure, just the route that I've taken, I just got really lucky. A lot of people, they join the HLC clans and they don't fit, or they just end up like not being in the HLC clan forever, or they just burn out in the HLC clan. But I
Hmm.
feel like if you're wanting to go for like 200 mils and like efficient gaming, being around people who know how to do those methods and taking notes from those people just is the best type of like environment for you, I would say.
Absolutely. That's a great, that's a great advice to anybody. That's a great answer straight up.
Like I have a lot of friends who are in Z skillers. Like I have a lot of friends who are in improvement. Like I'm still friends with Hodge, and he's thought about like coming into Omnia because like I don't know, like he just thought about it, and but he's a high level gamer. He was one of the first people I ever saw do 3-tick fly fish. I'm not saying that like there's not competitive gamers in there. I'm just saying that like the majority of people in these HLC clans are just playing like a lot differently than the majority of people in those.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Absolutely. The communities are just vastly different, and um all that kind of stuff. It's hard
But the level 3
to.
clans are good for the community, I would say. I think that there needs to be
Absolutely.
level 3 clans, and I think that like dude, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for improvement. Like I joke on them and stuff, and like I joke on the level, like I joke on them and stuff, but like I literally would not have met half the friends I have if it wasn't for improvement and Z skillers at the time.
Absolutely. Yeah, I wouldn't know half the people I do without Z skillers, because when I first joined, the big skillers in there were like Rez, Cosmic Blues, Trib,
Yeah,
Bitwise, all those guys. So it's like I wouldn't know any of
yeah.
these people had I not joined this clan initially. And I think that's why I've always had the hesitation of ever leaving. I don't really have any plans to, but I think the HLC clan I would join if I ever did decide to leave would probably be Olympus.
Yeah.
Just because just with you, how you said everybody in there is a high level minded gamer. Well, Olympus is all high level minded Ironmen, and I think that would be I could really benefit from that kind of environment in the future, maybe if that ever
Yeah.
if that ever happened. But I don't see it happening anytime soon.
Yeah.
So all that being said, do you have anything else you want to talk about? Anything else you want to mention, or any questions for me?
I mean, like I just wanted to say I appreciate you letting me be on here, man. Like, Black History Month, we're just sliding through, man. You had to get your boy in, boy. You
Gotta
had to get your boy in.
gotta
But I
represent.
just want but yeah, shout out to Mayfield. Shout out to all the people who support me and motivate me daily. I wouldn't be here without a lot of people in the community. And yeah, like I'm just here for the community, and I'm here to game. I'm here to smoke on some ranks.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate you coming on, especially during Black History Month, of course. And I know we had joked back and forth about it, but you were definitely somebody I did want to get on because, you and Peaked, and then I know I wanted to get.
Yeah, shout out to Pete. I saw his episode. He called me an OG skiller. That made me sound like I'm so old, man. What is up with that, man? He made me sound like I'm sitting here like in Draenor, like a wise old man or something. Just like, dude, he's like, I'm chilling with the OG skiller. It's like, dude, like I really recently started playing like quote unquote efficiently.
And no matter how recent it is or how long you've been doing it, it's always good to like have the people around you motivating you for that. And so
OG skiller. When I think about OG skillers, I think about people like Ambition, people like Skaggy, and maybe even like Zulo. Like,
said I remember watching
like people
Zulo's videos when he was doing RS3.
Like way back in the day. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I'm talking about like, like I remember Ambition for sure, like watching his stuff. Like I used to watch what's his name, man? What was his name? There was just like a lot of skillers back. Oh, like Geeked. Oh my god, Geeked was insane, man. He was an Omni. I think he still is an Omni, but he's like a level 3. He would just have like 3 or 4k EHP like way before I was even thought of. Like just perma like fragging on like Agi and fishing, I believe. Like, like that's who I think of. Like, and he has like videos on YouTube from like many years ago, And I said Skaggy, like, I mean, being an OG skiller doesn't mean that you had to have played like efficiently or etc. But it's just like people that like were around and like helped the community or who were like contributing to like just making the game mode more known.
Absolutely.
Like these are people that I probably just watched and thought were really cool.
Absolutely. No, I remember a lot of I don't remember all the names, but I remember back in the day watching level 3 videos and being like, man, that's so cool. Like the 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 achievements people are making and like showing people they're doing them. Not bragging about it either, just being like, yo, this is like a cool thing I want to share with people. And like, I don't know. I just think it's really cool how the level 3 community and the high level communities are built, especially like the biggest recent example is like JCW and Haybox Young, however you pronounce his fucking name.
Yeah.
Like the Max Cape from scratch. It's like I feel like that series has brought in so many like people from the outside to be like, oh, this is what like some of the methods I know.
This is gaming. This is gamer. This is gamer. Yeah.
These are what like the gamers do, and like whether they are going to do it that way or not, but like understanding the method behind like why some people are doing things so quickly.
Like they can't say that these are just like skillers. Like Max Hebox he's an Omnia too. He has an Infernal Cape. You know what I'm saying? Like JCW has multiple maxed mains that he got himself. Like they both have been contributing to the skilling community for a very long time, I would say. Like without JCW, we just wouldn't have the Essence running Discord. We wouldn't have 0+4 lavas. I mean, we may, but like we just wouldn't have that Discord for sure, which is the largest runner Discord in the game right now. We wouldn't have like I remember that's crazy. I remember back in the day, I think this is like what clan was this? It was some comp. I remember it was like a rune crafting comp. I remember this is when level 3s could do ZMI.
Yeah, because they didn't remove the trading yet.
Yeah, I remember. I don't know what comp it was, but I remember having I remember buying runners, and JCW was running on this account named Phallic. I remember he actually plays on that account now in his series.
Yep.
Yeah, it was an improvement. That was an improvement. That was so long ago. Like, yeah, like it's been around for ages. Max has been making like series where he just skills and just puts like good house music behind it for, for a while, and like maybe I knew about it a little bit earlier than most, just because of the fact that like I've been around them and stuff. But like, you know, and like these people have been these are people who are like, dudes 200 all, JCW's 200 all level 3. These are people who have been around the community for a long time. I think that they're good. They're good. They're good. I think that it's good that they're getting something out of the game. Like out of making content and doing something that they enjoy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, all being said, all of Malik's links will be in the description. YouTube, Twitch. Do you want me to put your Twitter there too?
Yeah, follow me, MLK OSRS on Twitter, MLK underscore OSRS on Twitch, and then MLK, I believe it's like MLK OSRS, like the ad on YouTube, if you want to holler at me there.
Perfect. And then I'll have those on the description as well for anybody who doesn't want to go off of that. So it'll be easier, a little easier to click. Any final parting words before we head out?
Love you guys. Appreciate you, Mayfield. You're a beast.
Appreciate you too. Hopefully that we see you hit tournament mining this year.
Hopefully.